Hi friends, Nora here. Have you guys seen this diagram? It says Ikigai in the middle. And this is not right. Today in this video, I would like to tell you the true meaning of Japanese word Ikigai. And today, in 2026, this diagram that is not even Japanese has been labeled Ikigai, and the book's been written on it, and everybody in the world knows this Japanese word Ikigai in a very twisted, distorted way. So I am here today to try to fix that and do some justice for the word Ikigai. So that diagram that I just tossed, I will go pick up the paper later, so don't worry. But that diagram was created in 2011 by a man from Spain as a purpose diagram. And later 2014, this guy Mark Wynn relabeled it as Ikigai. Then now the Venn diagram is Ikigai diagram. Then a little later in 2017, a pair of Spanish authors wrote a book on Ikigai, and they used the diagram in it. Now the whole world knows Ikigai as a system that is not even supposed to be. So as a Japanese person, I have a bit of a problem with that, because true meaning and true concept of Ikigai, I feel like will benefit quite a bit of us in this modern world. So let's get into that. The word Ikigai consists of two parts. Iki comes from the verb ikiru, which means to live, live in. And gai, which also can be read as kai, means effectiveness and something of value, usefulness, or merit. So together, Ikigai means living merit. And that is a beautiful word. Actually, gai or kai, we use quite a bit. It's like, oh, kai ga atta, which means it was very effective that I did that. And yeah, it's like kind of in the daily lives of Japanese people, that specific word. So the true meaning of Ikigai is quite simple. Something that gives you small joys and the sense of being alive in your body every day. And it really seems very simple on the surface, but it gets a little bit deeper, so stay with me. This small joys and the sense of being alive is obviously very unique to each person. One person might really enjoy the adventurous things every day. The other likes the calm. Like, your sense of joy can come from waking up every morning next to someone that you love, or just hugging your child or grandchild, or just having your pet come to your door when you come home, or just even the aroma of your coffee in the morning and the first sip. Something that might get you out of the bed each day. That's Ikigai. And that's what Japanese call Ikigai. Like a lot of older men they might call Ikigai a glass of beer after a long day of work. I've heard that many times. Oh, that's Ikigai. Or to lay down on bed after a day of work and a day of doing many awesome things. To lay down in bed and be able to rest horizontally. My father used to say that that's his Ikigai, and that feels amazing. When we fill our lives consciously with those small moments of joy and what makes you come alive every day, then your life, I feel like, is a life really well lived. And this Ikigai has nothing to do with what you might be good at, or what you might supposedly love, or what might change the lives of others, or what's profitable. It's not a system. It's not a career optimization. So you see that they are very, very unique to you. and to each person. Now you see that Ikigai cannot be found in systemizing, in optimizing, or strategizing written in books by strangers. It actually requires your full presence and some quietude in your life to be able to listen to that joy and the visceral sense of being alive. That can be whisper in many of us in this modern world. So it is a matter of you knowing and being able to sense that in you and being able to know that what is your value, your core values, your deeper sense of set of values that is unique to you, rather than the social or economical or just engineered norms that are not necessarily natural to you. So Ikigai seems very, very simple on the surface, but it actually requires some deeper work of self-knowledge, which is, I guess, can be called gnosis. Actually, it is a life practice of presence and alignment and discernment quite a bit, because to fill your life with those small moments of joy and the things that makes you feel alive, it actually requires quite a bit of discipline. Not discipline, but discernment. Because the time is sort of illusional concept, but also time is all we got, and the presence is all we got. So Ikigai requires us, if we want to collect Ikigai in our lives, it requires us to be fiercely present in this present moment, every moment. And when I saw, I know I'm catching on much later than everybody else in the world, but when I saw that diagram and when I saw that the Ikigai as systemized by people that are not even Japanese, and actual Japanese people started to even follow that systemized way, I just really had to say something, because that is exact opposite of how you find Ikigai. The book actually talks about filling your life, busying yourself so that you feel more joy. That is not at all what Ikigai is. It's the opposite. We have to empty. Then we will be able, well, not have to, because actually some people might enjoy the full life. I don't, personally. I really like a space. I really like quiet. Well, except that I am a mother. So right now I have some quiet, which I enjoy, but I also hear that my son is hitting and then smacking on something in the house, which actually gives me a lot of joy, because that means he is well and he's making something creative, hopefully, instead of breaking. Anyways, you see that it's not quite right to systemize and optimize and make Ikigai into something you even consider that might be profitable, because it's backwards. So first, we have to find those things and know those things in ourselves, obviously. Then the profits and the relationship, or in the love, or the fulfillment, any of that might just follow us. But so this is why it felt almost dangerous and kind of, I'm not angry, but if they were to use Japanese words and the concepts in globally, then I would like them to get it right, because that will help all of us. Ikigai is a simple joy and the sense of being alive, and it actually requires your presence, quietude, to be able to hear that whisper of joy each day, and conscious discernment, alignment to feel your life with those moments. Thank you so much for being with me. And this channel is about that rebellion to stay human. This is why I named it Quiet Rebellion. And I feel that as a Japanese who would take in the things that might be useful and be of service and good of all, and just make something new. So I am not necessarily against taking in the new things, such as technology and yada yada. But the way it's going, I do really feel the need to have this anchor of just, okay, remembering our true nature and staying human is still our mission. Thousands of years later, it doesn't matter how much of technology that there is, and I don't really care for the AI-fied humans, honestly. Like, our point of being human and being born this lifetime as human is to stay human and really remember where we come from. So this is the Quiet Rebellion. I guess I have been called rebellious before, just a few times. And it's not in a violent way, but there is a need, I feel. There's a need in the world, in each of us, to have the quiet, rebellious nature of, nope, I am not going to follow the system that's been written in the books by strangers who don't know anything about my own joy. Instead, I'm going to turn into myself, and I figured it out. To me, that's quiet rebellion. So that is this channel is about, and then I would like to do that with weaving in some Japanese ancient wisdoms and some concepts, because they're useful and kind of fun. So if you are Japanese at your heart, and or just fully human and committed to stay human and remembering your true nature, you're at the right place. By the way, my life story discovery kit is free to download from the link down below. It is very useful tool. I actually used it multiple times, and then that line of work is specifically got me on to this whole journey of quiet rebellion and really reconnecting with my own motherland and planning to go back to Japan and then actually live there and then learn from that and really nurture that part of my lineage and the lineage in my kids as well. So feel free to download. Go ahead and grab it. It's free. And yeah, I think it's about that for today. I hope you have a beautiful day, a day full of your joy, Ikigai. Nani? いいよ、起きて。